Hey everyone, this is Kamats. I made this video to show you guys the ODROID-GO, which is a relatively new product that allows portable gaming and also is a full open source development platform. It comes with this demo software that allows you to play Nintendo, Game Boy Color, Sega Master System, and Game Gear, as you can see. I've seen several videos online that had this particular device featured. A lot of them actually used either old firmware or they had various issues. So let's just jump right in, and then I'll start explaining some of the things that I think were missed on the other videos. So if we go into, let's just say Game Boy Color here, and we got a bunch of different games. Let's go into this one. And you'll see that this actually loads up a lot faster than what you might have seen on other videos. But you can kind of tell, turn up that volume a little bit. So you can kind of tell that it loaded a bit faster, and the game plays just fine, and all the buttons work great. Sound sounds great. I'm not really a Zelda expert, honestly, but it's definitely a fun device from an emulation standpoint. So anyway, a couple of the things that were missed. For one, you can see that this resumed where I left off. It does save your state where you're at. You can see it doing it right there when you press the menu button here. This current version saves the state to the internal flash. Other Crash Override, who's the developer that's been working on this, is currently working on getting it so that saves are immediately written to the SD card, which you can see right there. And I guess while we have this flipped over, for those of you that haven't seen one of these devices before, it's a kit. So you assemble it, and when I was assembling it, I noticed that the backlight on the LCD, which you can see right there, was fairly bright and kind of shining up the back of this thing like a flashlight. So I put this piece of electrical tape on the back plastic. See it there. That helped block it from being so bright, especially when you're playing this and somebody else is sitting on the other side from you. But this is all based on the ESP32 Rover, or W Rover, which is a 2-core, 200-something megahertz chip. One of the other things I noticed on some of the other reviews is the version of software they were using was the original installed version. Well, a lot of enhancements haven't been made since then. And you can see that I'm running the version from July 12th right there. Another test that a reviewer did is when they were in the middle of a game, they flipped off the power and flipped it back on and expected it to resume. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. There you go. So say you're in the game and you're playing and doing your thing. I'm actually going to move. So just moving up here so you can see I'm in a different location. I'm going to hit the save. So you just have to wait till it writes out the save. And then you can turn it off. And power's off. Then when you turn it back on, you'll see that you're back into the thing. If you go back to that game, it'll load your save spot. Or, see that little B right there? If you hit B, it loads even faster. Comes right back to where you are. So you just turn it on, hit B, and you're good to go. So you can see that this works just fine. Missed him. Punk. Oh, I'm doing terrible at this. Just throw him down there. Why can't I play? Probably because I'm trying to play it through a phone screen, and that's not working so well. Alright, well, anyway, you can see that that's working just fine, and it resumed where I left off. Like I mentioned, this is also a development platform, compatible with the Arduino IDE, and it's very lightweight. I mean, the other reviews, which I'll link ETA Prime's review, I think he did probably the best job out of all of them. I'll link his review. The only thing in ETA Prime's review that I noticed that the SD card, when you format this, his review says, oh, you need to use FAT and not FAT32 because there's a problem. Well, that's not actually the case. You want to use FAT32 with this. But other than that, not really much else to share. Thanks for watching. This is my first video, so feel free to leave a comment. Alright.